Right now, continuing coverage on a shakeup in leadership at Sun Prairie West High School as the fallout continues from a child sex crimes investigation.
Chilly temperatures will continue through tonight, through Saturday, and into Sunday before a warm-up. I'll show you those warm temperatures in just a bit and when you can expect the next chance for rain.
And later, Madison East High School has 2 new teachers. We'll get their thoughts and goals for the new school year. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Sarah Carlson.
I'm Brady Mallory. Eric is off this evening. We start with the leadership changes in Sun Prairie School District.
Last night, the district announced they have a new principal at Sun Prairie West. This comes as the district faces backlash on how they've been handling the charges of West High School's former dean of students. Our Tanisha Shaw has more.
Edward Ford is the new acting principal of Sun Prairie West High School. The school district sent this email to parents, announcing the leadership change with no mention of West's former principal, Jennifer Ploger.
I think there's a lot more transparency that can be had that they're keeping from us, and that makes us all angry.
Rajette Colby's daughter graduated from Sun Prairie West in June and has another child in the district. Colby says the school district continues to lack transparency.
Pretty typical of the district. Something happens and it gets brushed under the rug, and they try to mask as much as they can without transparency.
All of this happening as West's former dean of students, Robert Gilkey Massaguire, faces felony charges for having inappropriate sexual relationships with students on campus. Criminal complaint also says that he would exchange alcohol for nudes from female students. And in that same criminal complaint, it also says that a staff member failed to report some of these accusations to police months before Gilkey Massaguire's arrest.
It was very known amongst the students that there was an inappropriate relationship going on between Robert and the student, and it was well known before any of this even became public or he was charged with anything.
I reached out to all of the school board members and the district's communications office. They told me that they are not sending out any additional information besides what's in their email that they sent to parents Thursday. When I asked why, they responded that the district is giving me the same information that the community has.
I have 5 more years with a child in this district. How do I know they're going to be kept safe? And I don't at this point. So I'm hoping with everyone banding together that we can demand transparency and accountability that doesn't seem to have happened, at least in the last 6 years.
Reporting in Sun Prairie, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. Gilkey Massaguire is expected back in court next month.
Meanwhile, Madison police are looking for a group of men they say attacked a man, knocking him unconscious. We'll take a look. The attack reportedly happened over the weekend when the victim and his friends got into an argument with the suspects on State Street. Later in the night, the group of suspects approached the man on Francis Street. Another argument started, and as the man turned to walk into a business, he was reportedly punched on the side of the head, knocking him unconscious. If you have any information, call Madison police.
A Beloit man accused of forcing a woman into prostitution will head to trial. Charles Bell is charged with 21 felony and misdemeanor counts, including human trafficking and battery. Bell pleaded not guilty in court today. The criminal complaint alleges that Bell referred to himself as a pimp and forced a woman who he was living with to exchange sexual acts with men for cash. Police arrested Bell in January following an incident where he allegedly shot a man who came to his home. His trial date has not yet been set. Well, Madison police say they've identified a suspect who attacked 2 men with a knife on State Street. Officers were called just after midnight today for a report of a potential stabbing. Now, the suspect had left the scene before police arrived. They did recover a knife, but no serious injuries are reported. No other information on the suspect has been given, but police are working to take them into custody.
Turning to our weather now, chilly nights ahead. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is out on the patio with our first warn forecast. Alex?
Yes, chilly last night. We're going to have, well, a little bit warmer last night, but it was even chillier the night before, but still cool last night. Chilly tonight, chilly again. And let's go over to Max 1. That's the weather computer we need to be on. Computer number 1. There we go. So I can show you that it's going to be in the lower 40s again tonight. Normal lows for this time of year are 55 degrees, so we're not even close to that. This will be the night where maybe you might want to shut the window and grab the extra blanket. And fast forward into the weekend, not a warm weekend at all, very fall-like, 61 on Saturday, 63 on Sunday. The winds will lighten up, especially as we go later into Saturday. And by the time we get into Sunday, the winds will be on the light side, and we'll have the sun. as well. Right now it's down to 59 degrees here in Madison, 58 in the Dalles, 61 in Janesville. So upper 50s to the lower 60s right now as we plan our evening. Those temperatures are going to work their way down when you join us again for the 10 o'clock newscast, down to about 50. And then as we go further into the night, we'll slip into the 40s. When will we get back into the 70s and resemble summer-like weather? And with that, when can we expect some rain? I'll let you know when I come back in about 10 minutes.
Sounds great. Thank you, Alex. And we know that we still have summer, but it'll get cold before we know it. That's why News 3 Now's 40th annual Coats for Kids winter coat collection is happening, kicking off Monday with a Pack the Truck event. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County will be outside of the Clinky Cleaners on Monona Drive from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., packing that truck, collecting donated coats and other winter accessories. This year, there's a special need for infant, toddler, and larger teen sizes. Adult sizes are also always welcome. After Monday, you can make donations at any Madison area Clinky Cleaners or the News 3 Now lobby through October 4th. Well, in our final story in our Back to School series, we're highlighting some of Madison's teachers who are new to the world of education themselves.
Armand Rahman sits down with two new teachers at East High School in Madison to hear their unique journeys to the classroom. Armand?
Well, Brady and Sarah, class is in session. Take a look at this. I spoke to these two educators who are teaching pretty different subjects, but you'd be surprised how much they overlap in their hopes and outlook for their first years. Isabel Larson is the fourth generation of female teachers in her family. Her mom is a teacher, and her Mama Julia and great-grandma Maria were a professor and teacher back in Bolivia, which she says makes her a unique fit to teach sheltered modern U.S. history, which is primarily for students who are new to the U.S. for less than a year and are still learning English. There are over 100 languages spoken in MSD. Her and the new construction and woodworking teacher, Tara Hoff, say regardless of the languages spoken, they both need to build trust in their classes.
Going into a group of kids and being vulnerable and saying, hey, I don't have all the answers. We don't really know which direction all of this is going, but we're going to figure it out together.
It's just a completely different type of energy. They come in the room and they're talking and talking and talking, but then they're talking to students that are from a complete different continent, and they're communicating in English.
While Miss Larson did go to school for teaching, Miss Hoff was actually an independent contractor who was asked this year to fill in for a retired teacher at East. And later on in the year, I'll be checking in with these new teachers to see how things are going.
Can't wait. Thank you, Armand. Wisconsin schools are officially back in session, but it's not only students that will soon be getting report cards.
That's right. Our Ellie LaLiberte shows us the changes coming to a different report card.
This year, the State Department of Public Instruction is updating the way it grades schools and districts. It's a process required by state law. Now, DPI calls these report cards, and they track achievement, growth, target group outcomes, and on track to graduation. And it uses multiple years of data. Now, schools and districts receive an overall score that falls into one of 5 ratings. Now, this change will update how scores are determined. State Superintendent Jill Underly told me that this update is necessary.
A lot has changed, I guess. I could say really since these were first rolled out 15 years ago. Again, in state law, there's been new laws, there's been new testing, there's different ways of measuring student success and priorities. And because of the way these metrics have evolved, updates were overdue.
These updated practices will be implemented for the 2024-25 school and district report cards, which will be released in the fall of 2025. Now, also in that conversation with Underly, we talked about things like funding and immigration policies, and you can hear all of this Sunday at 10:30 in the morning on For the Record.
Ellie LaLiberte, thank you. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, we preview some events happening in the Madison area this weekend.
And when we come back, the Ironman returns to Madison. Look at them go, but there are some road closures you'll want to be aware of.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
Welcome back. Curd Fest is returning for its 12th year at Breeze Stevens Field on Saturday. This is the original and cheesiest annual celebration of Wisconsin's most famous snack. Curd Fest is free for all from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and features some of the curds we've all grown to love. Hello, I'm back. There are also some early entry tickets available at a cost, but you want to get in at 1:30 instead with a VIP treatment.
Oh, that sounds so good. My stomach's still growling. Well, Ironman Wisconsin also returns to Madison this weekend, and some closures, road closures for the race, are already in place. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard is closed to traffic until Monday at 2 p.m. The race runs tomorrow and Sunday, starting each day at 7 a.m. The half Ironman finishes by 4:30 Saturday tomorrow, and the full Ironman will finish by midnight on Monday, so they've got a lot longer. Now, this is a look at the bike portion of the race. It goes outside of Madison proper, but does still impact traffic. You can look for impacts on the right lane of John Nolan by Olin Park to the Monona Terrace, also on Olin Turville Court and East Lakeside streets, and the Rimrock Road ramps from the Beltline. Tomorrow's run will have minimal traffic impact, though, starting at the Alliant Energy Center and moving along Lake Monona. Sunday's run will take place throughout the Capitol Square, Southwest Path, Camp Randall, and the UW campus.
This Sunday is the final brush pickup day in Madison. All brush set out for the pickup must be between 18 inches and 8 feet long and must be no thicker than 8 inches in diameter. Brush must be placed at least 4 feet away from trees, signs, utility poles, or fire hydrants. The pickup is designated for only brush, so no waste, lumber, or other debris can be mixed into the piles.
Well, still ahead, the MTV Video Music Awards are coming to CBS. We'll tell you who has the most nominations headed into the weekend.
Plus, the Packers season opener is right around the corner. Find out which players are selling the most merch.
And how's the weather looking for the Badgers and the Packers this weekend? Alex returns with the full forecast after the break.
News 3 now at 6. Moving forward.
Music's biggest stars are getting ready for this Sunday's MTV Video Music Awards, and for the first time ever, the iconic show will air live right here on CBS. Hip-hop legend LL Cool J is hosting the event with performances by Jelly Roll, Post Malone, Sabrina Carpenter, and much more. The main stage will spotlight some of the biggest names in music.
I think the fans come away as the winners because they get exposed to all of the newest cool music and visuals and artists and all of the iconic music and iconic visuals and artists.
Lady Gaga leads the nominations with 12, including Artist of the Year, as she should, by the way. The 2025 MTV VMAs live from New York's UBS Arena airs Sunday, September 7th at 7 p.m. right after the Packers-Lions game on the CBS television network, simulcast on MTV and streaming on Paramount+.
And I agree about Lady Gaga. And how does LL Cool J never age?
Oh,
anyway.
So cool.
Well, now we're talking about the weather now. Alex has the complete forecast and a great day to be outside, and then maybe when it's nighttime, watching TV.
Yes, watching TV, grab that extra blanket. Dare I say, maybe turn the fireplace on for a little bit. The temperatures are going to be quite appropriate for that, at least relatively speaking, for how warm it's been and now how cool it actually is out there. Saturday coming in at 61, Sunday at 63. The winds will ease up this weekend as well, but both days feeling very fall-like across southern Wisconsin. It's part of the 3 things you got to get out of our forecast. Tonight, we can't rule out a sprinkle or 2, keeping that fall-like vibe in the air. This weekend, it will be fall-like, with temperatures, as you just saw, in the 60s, low 60s for that matter, but things are going to warm up next week. Wait till I show you how warm things will eventually get. 43 tonight in Madison, 43 in Janesville, 44 in Prairie du Chien, 45 to the north in the Camp Douglas area. So a very cool night tonight. Tomorrow's highs approximately 15 to, in some cases, almost pushing 20 degrees below normal. So very chilly for this time of year, but the chilly stuff is not going to stick around for too long. We're going to have some rain chances increase, and with the rain chances increasing, the temperatures are also going to go up. But that best chance coming in Monday night going into Tuesday with the weather system, and I'll give you first glimpse at what that weather system will look like. Come Monday evening, we could see some showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or 2, especially for areas north and west of Madison, as a front kind of moves and then sets up in the area Monday night going into Tuesday, with that continuation of a couple showers and a couple of thunderstorms, even going into Tuesday afternoon and evening, still seeing maybe a thunderstorm or a shower or 2 across the area, especially for Madison areas to the north and west. But this could toggle north and south a bit as we move forward in time and get a little bit closer to that event. But the main takeaway is that some rain, a couple thunderstorms, and the scattered nature will be key with the shower activity and the possible thunderstorm activity Monday, Tuesday, perhaps even going into very early Wednesday before skies become mostly sunny behind that front. And then we'll warm up again as we head to the following weekend. Look at that. Low temperatures climbing back into the 60s. It's possible it could even be in the mid-60s, just that touch of mugginess back in the air. But we can't forget about Saturday Badger game. Can't forget about Sunday. That's the Ironman and the Packers game. And conditions are looking cool for all of those events, which will be quite favorable overall. Tailgate temperature 58 to 61. 62 that kickoff temperature for the Badger game. And at the end of the game, we'll go down to about 60 degrees. The Packers game, very, very similar here, with our temperatures climbing only up to the lower 60s on Sunday up in Lambeau Field. By the time we get to the end of the game, we'll be back into the 50s. But you know what? All that means is you just have to, I don't know, pack a Green Bay Packers sweatshirt.
Oh, it'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
Perfect
It'll be
for football
for
season, and yeah, better than when it's too hot.
And that vibe, that feel too, you know, that's in the air when the air is crisp and cool, which it will be.
I love it. Thanks, Alex.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, yeah, like you said, it's in the air. Football season is officially upon us, and the Green Bay Packers fans are eager to get their hands on some fresh green and gold merch, maybe a sweater like Alex said.
Right now, the most sought after items in the Packers Pro Shop are jerseys for a pair of the team's new players, of course, Micah Parsons and Matthew Golden.
We will continue to take orders online, and then as soon as the rest of the orders arrive from the vendors next week, those will start shipping out to fans.
Don't forget your cheesehead hat. You'll be able to watch the Packers opening game of the regular season right here on News 3 Now. This Sunday, the Green and Gold take on Detroit at Lambeau. The network's pregame show, NFL on CBS, is live in Green Bay, previewing the matchup and coverage of that. That is at 11 a.m. And then the game continues at 3:25. So button up.
All sorts of
yeah,
stuff.
It's going to be fun.
I always wanted a cheese head. I think I could fit it over my hair.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we'll figure it out.
And we are live in Columbus for our Game of the Week as Lodi comes here to Columbus for a Clash of the Titans that we will preview next in sports. Welcome into Columbus here at Fireman's Park, where later on tonight, the Cardinals will be hosting Lodi in our Game of the Week. Of course, later on tonight, you can catch all those highlights in our final drive, but right now, let's get you ready for our Game of the Week between two of the premier programs in our area that have produced some of the most incredible players to come out of our area. Of course, Columbus had Mason Lane, make that Lodi had Mason Lane, who now plays for the Wisconsin Badgers, and Columbus had Colton Brunell, the all-time rushing leader in our state. They've gone back and forth beating each other these last 2 years, and tonight it will certainly be one that is exciting to see. We'll have the highlights later on tonight at 10. But of course, not the only football game going on in our state or even our area this weekend. Tomorrow, the road to 2-0 for Wisconsin football begins, and they'll do it with somebody else under center than they initially envisioned having when the season started. That's right, Danny O'Neill will take the center spot once again. He'll be the quarterback for the Badgers in Week 2 against Middle Tennessee State in a game that is a good chance for the Badgers to keep learning more about themselves, a struggling Blue Raiders squad that gives them a chance to get ready for the rest of their slate. As for their quarterback, Danny O'Neill, he's been dreaming of an opportunity like this his whole life to prove himself right.
I've been told I can't do a lot of things in my life, and just being able to prove people wrong, that's just the type of guy I am. So I've been told no, I've been told I don't have a strong enough arm, I'm not big enough, I'm not fast enough. So just being able to go out there and prove myself right, more so than proving other people wrong, is a big thing. And it's something that I just carry that chip with me every single
And of course, we have to look ahead once more to see who we think is going to win in this Wisconsin football game this week. We were undefeated as a staff last week, and we're staying with Bucky once again. Eric and Sarah teaming up for a 31-7 score prediction. I'm sure no collusion there. Alex also thinks the Badgers will score 31. However, he thinks the Blue Raiders will only have 3. I went a little bit off the beaten path. I think Wisconsin takes it. They score more, but give up a few more points. 41-13 is my score prediction. And of course, it is a trifecta on the football field this weekend in our great state. Tonight we have high school football. Tomorrow the Badgers. And on Sunday, the Packers will open their season against the Lions. That will air right here on CBS. You can stay with News 3 Now for coverage and for the game itself. And of course, we give you one final update that Micah Parsons is officially listed as questionable for what would be his Packers debut on Sunday. It is such an exciting weekend all across the state, and we can't wait for it to get started here in about 33 minutes. Later on tonight, stick with us for the final drive, but for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio, Sarah.
What do we do when there's no football?
Is there anything
I know,
left
I
to
was
do?
mesmerized. I'm like, what? Keep talking, Andrew.
Right,
keep
I know.
talking.
I love it. Well, and we have perfect football weather.
Oh, yeah, but you're going to have to bundle up a little bit there with temperatures tonight in the 40s. But 70s will be back next week.
All right, we'll take them.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Entertainment Tonight is next.
See you at 10.